justice on this.
All right, so yesterday Jen was asked about these military exercises that you guys are doing with the Ukrainians, and she talked about how they would contribute to peace and regional stability and build confidence, etc. I'm just curious why you believe that, considering what you had said about Russian military exercises in Russia with the Russian military on its own soil, and you talked about how those were provocative and not helpful to the situation. So
2 points on that, if you want me to start there, or do you have more?
yeah, I just want to know why are your military exercises good and contributing to stability, and Russian military exercises are bad and provocation?
Because we're not undertaking armed intervention into other countries. We haven't taken escalatory actions using our military. These exercises are annual, they're pre-planned, they are not being held in response to current events, and I think that should speak for itself.
Right, but whether or not they're annual and whether or not
Well, that's important, though.
but you
We do
would
this
you would
every year.
agree that Ukraine is unsettled, right, at the moment? To say that
does
it's not a
unsettled mean?
normal situation in Ukraine.
Because another country has undertaken an
underst-
armed intervention, which by definition means if that country undertakes exercises, they are seen in a very different context
For
than
whatever
when NATO
reason,
does or when
for-
we do.
For whatever reason, Ukraine is not a peaceful, stable
That
country
reason
at
matters,
the moment.
though.
Yeah, it may
It does.
very well, but
It
not
does.
to my question, which
I
is,
think it actually
is
does matter to your
wise,
question.
is it wise to stage a military exercise in a country that you say is at war with its much larger neighbor?
Again, these are exercises that are done on an annual basis that we believe are incredibly important to demonstrate our commitment and our resolve to stand side by side our partners in their defense. And we've said that this is why they're so important. They are not in response to recent events. And again, we aren't the ones who have taken escalatory military action. Russia has. So our exercises should be seen in drastically different contexts given the recent past of both of these different sides of this conflict here.
Right, but the Russian troops, the Russian exercises that you criticized, this is quite apart from the allegations of sending troops across the
But
border.
it's related. It's the same country doing it. And
Yeah,
so
but-
how can their
But
exercises
Russian
not be
troops
seen in the
training in
context?
Russian
Well,
territory
but
doesn't seem
how
to...
can those exercises not be seen in the context of their
Well,
intervention
how can
in
your
another country?
exercises not be seen in the context of
what?
Of the unsettled nature of the
defending a country
conflict
that's
in
been
Ukraine?
intervened in militarily? They're
So
two
this
separate
is for
things.
defense of Ukraine?
This is for standing by our partners. There's a couple different exercises. We can talk through what those are. But they're designed to increase interoperability, promote regional stability and security, and strengthen our international military partnering.
I understand that's what Jen said yesterday, and I understand
Again,
that's
we're
what you say,
remarkably on the same
but
page.
you can't, but I don't understand how it is that you can't see that why the Russians would take the position that they have taken, which is to say
I think
that...
it's a convenient one for them to say publicly, but I don't think it has any basis in reality. I can see why they're doing it, I just don't think it's accurate.
Okay.
I mean, look, you're looking at a country who has intervened in an armed and military way in its neighbor. Of course, their military exercises have to be seen in that kind of escalatory context. Everything they're doing with their military in that part of the world right now is escalatory and aggressive and interventionalist. How can you not see their exercises in that context? They are not divorced from each other.
Well, okay, but you say that they're escalatory and that their exercises are provocative. Why is it wrong for the Russians to say that your exercises are provocative?
Because nothing we've done has been provocative throughout this entire conflict, and everything they've done has been. Again, it's a convenient propaganda talking point, but it's not based in reality, which is par for the course for them in this conflict.
Is there any further